I was looking online and having to like sit there and focus on, okay, what does this mean, and do that. So firstly, I was watching straight through videos. Like whenever I made a hat pattern, I watched the video, I did exactly what was done step by step, and that's how I did it. I did not read patterns. And then for pattern, I was just kind of intimidated by it. And then once a couple times I tried, okay, let me try reading this and seeing how it makes sense. And then I found some, I think it was a product that showed you how to read a pattern, or it was a website that showed how to read a pattern with brackets, and this is a formal pattern and you read it this way, then you finish everything within the brackets, and then you move on to the next step. And I sort of focused on that, and then learned how to then I learned how to crochet hats from a pattern. So it took me a while to understand, to interpret what these meanings were, the short forms were, and how to get that done. But that I basically taught myself by reading them and practicing and seeing if what I was doing was making sense to what the pattern said and what the pictures of the final product should be. It's strange. I'm very overwhelmed when I have a big, large yarn selection. Because usually when I go, I usually have an idea of what colors I want, or a certain type of texture, what kind of yarn I'm looking for. But then when I get there, I see what's there, and then I can get distracted, and I see so many different options, and I don't know what to do, and I'm just like, it's exciting, and then, oh, should I get this, or should I get that? And sometimes I kind of buy way too much than I need at that time. But sometimes it's just for me. It's a pastime. It's something I like to do. So I will tend to just go off and enjoy myself and find something I want to do. Like, yes, that's it. But I don't know. It's usually excitement. It's usually just a lot of overwhelmed feeling. And then I come out with really kind of editing eye. Okay, what am I going to use? What goes well together? What do I think will go well together? What do I already have at home? And what do I think will do well? What kind of project can I make with this stuff? So that's usually what I feel when I'm in a yarn store. I'll probably say no, because usually most yarn, let's say if I go yarn shopping, I'll usually finish off all that yarn before I get more. So I don't tend to feel like I have excess of yarn or need more yarn, because if anything, I'm also big on using yarn. Like if a project I do that I'm not too keen on, or something with it, I'll just unravel it and then reincorporate it into another project if I don't like how it's going. So I don't ever feel like I'm desperately lacking of yarn. I would say no. I mean, well, when I'm in the store, I feel like I am, because I feel like I want to buy this and this and this and this and this. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's say a yarnaholic. I'd talk maybe more so a crochetaholic, because I just feel like I need to crochet something. Crochet. Yes, I have. Here's an example of a freestyle crochet I did. This freestyle crochet was basically, I just made like a beret style tam. I don't know how this looks. Let's see. Yeah, this beret style tam, and I basically freestyled this one. I was looking for a pattern that I had about how to make basically like almost like a V-stitch beret, and I couldn't find it, and the source material I had for it was not going right on the line, so I basically just used a basic V-stitch and double crochet start, and I V-stitched it, and I increased, and then I just freestyled this hat. It's pretty basic. It's nothing too fancy in a lot of ways, but I just really wanted to crochet something, and I thought, okay, this is fun, and I actually pretty much like it. I mean, it's not perfect, I would say. Like I might have missed a couple stitches because I was just freestyling and not counting strictly, but I like it, and it's fun, and it's light, and it's not as heavy, and it's blue. I really like blue. So that's an example of freestyle crochet I would do. Express how you feel when you're counting in crochet and someone interrupts you. If I'm counting in crochet and someone interrupts me, I don't really get that upset, really. It's just, I just have to count back to my previous round if it's something really important or something I'm not familiar with. It was funny because when I first found out how much counting there was in crochet, I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this. Just for my focus ability of like having to count all the stitches and how many you need per line and per row and per round was just overwhelming to me. But I found a way that it's not too bad most of the time. Do you dream about crochet? Dream about crochet? No, I would say I don't dream about crochet. I dream about other things, but not crochet. Crochet is something I'd rather do and create and think of how to design the pattern or the color sequence, but not dream about it. No, I don't drive in crochet. No, I don't bring crochet to work. I just crochet at home. Yes, yes, I do. I appreciate when people write their own patterns and they come up with modifications and they're like, this is mine, and they want to take ownership and they're prideful of it. But I really dislike it when they write a pattern that could be written more basic, but they overcomplicate it with extra words. When they say like start with a double crochet, like let's say 15 double crochets in the round to begin, and then double crochet, then increase twice in each stitch across, and then increase every other stitch, and then increase every fourth stitch. When they do in terms of that to be very, very simple, like to condense it all, it overwhelms me. Because when I think of that, when I first see it, it's like increase a double crochet every in the fourth stitch. I'm like, do you mean in the fourth stitch I'm increasing, or is it after the fourth stitch? So those kind of things confuse me. So I'd rather have them just say, you know, double crochet in the first stitch, double crochets in the next, double crochet in the third, and then increase on the fourth. Like if it's written straight out that way, and then they say repeat after from this star to that star, more straightforward. Maybe that's just me, but that's just how I interpret them, and I find that difficult when doing patterns, because sometimes I have to go through the whole thing, and I'm like, oh, they basically were just doing a basic increase, but I got confused in how it was written. So that's basically my issue with that. I don't usually have a lot. I used to have a few because I didn't know how to finish them, or like I didn't know, let's say if I got something and I oversized it. Like for example, right now I have this. It's supposed to be, when you look at it, what would this be, you might wonder. No, this is supposed to be a crochet hat. Obviously that's what I do, but if I put it on like this now, looks the wrong side out, but it's massive. It's massive. Obviously, I was crocheting too loosely, and I was using the wrong hook for most of it, because this hat, according to pattern, should be finishing up here. Let me just see. It should be like that. It should be like this in terms of how the picture shows and how the pattern says it should be. There should be 2 repeats of a pattern stitch, and then that's the way it should go. But I have all this extra space. It's also probably because I was crocheting loosely. That's another thing I have when I crochet kind of chainy, lacy kind of patterns. I tend to get them too big. So I think this one is not finished because I have to correct it. And part of the reason why I needed to modify this was because the original pattern said it would fit a small to medium, the small to medium sized woman's head. I have a massive head, so I'm like, okay, I have to make it bigger. And the original pattern said H, so I bumped it up to my K hook. I love my K hook. Except I should have learned, was whenever I do that, when I bump up the size, especially when it's a more lacy pattern, is that it gets so much bigger because of my crochet I'm not a tight crocheter. So I should have just used the H, and it probably would have worked out fine. This is an example of why I would have an unfinished. I don't really have a lot of unfinished. It's just because I could have finished this last night, for sure. But it's just I knew that if I continued, where is this going to go? That's an example of what I would have unfinished and why I would be unfinished have them. And because then when I go back to them, I don't know where to begin, and I feel less inspired. So I usually like to finish them off, then find ways to fix errors that I have when it comes into it. The simple answer is no. I know that's after all this rambling, to have an ender with that is kind of funny. But anyway, thank you for taking the time if you got through this crochet tag. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have more videos up here later, but I thought I would just start with this one as a bit of an introductory, hi, how you doing, intro to this. So I hope you're having a good day, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye-bye, guys.